in-depth weather, and more. It's Terry Henne and his Farm Show on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
A mostly cloudy good morning to most of you. I hope your day is going well for you. Wherever you might be, the further east you are, you're still looking at maybe a little bit of sun, but mostly cloudy. The closer to the Great Lakes Bay Area you get, the stormier it is. And then the further west that you get, the wave of thunderstorm activity has pretty well cleared a good portion of the lower peninsula. And it does appear right now as though they're looking at just mostly cloudy skies. Some rain? Yeah, they did. They got some rain, and we're getting some rain right now here at Radio Center. As a matter of fact, Matthew Lester, it looks to me like, or it sounds to me anyway, like the Lord's moving some furniture right now.
Yeah, it does. It's been raining cats and dogs over here.
Yeah, and a little rumble and bumble, too, as far as thunderstorm activity goes. Out at the airport, the last time I looked, and of course, here at Radio Center, we were experiencing some lightning and thunder. What's going on right now, temperature-wise?
Well, over at the airport, we have thunderstorms at 66 degrees. In Midland, we have heavy rain at 64. Here at Radio Center, it's cloudy at 69. We have southwest winds at 9 miles per hour, and our pressure for the day is 29.67, and it's rising.
And as I mentioned, Bad Axe right now, this hour has reported partly sunny skies there at 74, which is warmer than what we're supposed to get as we go through the remainder of the day here. Caro's looking at partly sunny and 73. Flint, 72 with partly sunny skies. Then you get a little bit further to the east. Battle Creek over the last hour experienced a thunderstorm. It was 65. Benton Harbor, some light rain, and 66. Holland, 66. Grand Rapids, a thunderstorm, and 63. So you kind of get the idea of how widespread this entire system is. It's moving from the northeast, or the line is from the northeast to the southwest, and it is moving in an easterly direction. The system, as far as the thunderstorm activity, the rain clouds are moving from the southwest to the northeast, moving up through. The heaviest amount of precipitation, it's about a half hour to 45 minutes, and then things begin to taper off. The rain shower activity, though, from beginning to end, should probably be about an hour and a half in your backyard. So when it starts, that's what you're going to have to look forward to as far as rain goes. But once it moves through, things will taper off rather rapidly, other than there is going to be that chance of seeing some spotty shower activity as we go into the afternoon hours and the early evening hours. Once we hit 6:30 here in the Great Lakes Bay Area, I anticipate things to thin out here pretty good. And we should be looking at partly cloudy skies tonight with a low of right around 54. We're going to have a northwest wind this evening. Again, that's a function of the cold front moving through, and that's why we'll see the northwest breeze 10, 12 miles per hour. But again, 54 for a low after a high of right around 70. 74 is our projected high for tomorrow. Plenty of sun, high pressure taking over. It'll be over Illinois, moving into Indiana. And then eventually that high is going to drift all the way over to West Virginia late tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow night. Then another high pressure system is going to be affecting our weather. Our high tomorrow will be 74, so a little bit warmer than today. But our low tomorrow night, because a high pressure system off to the west of us is going to be pulling some much cooler air down out of Canada, we'll drop down to 49 for a low tomorrow night, Friday night. Then Saturday will warm up nicely, 79, maybe 80 degrees, mostly sunny skies. We'll have a southwest breeze, so that's going to help. 79, 80 degrees for a high, 63 for a low. So we're getting a lot closer to what's average for this time of the year on Saturday. And then we'll be above average as we go into Sunday. And right now it looks as though a good part of the work week next week is going to be above average as well, with very little chance of anything in the way of precipitation. So once we get done with all of this later on this afternoon, Plenty of sun to take us through at least Wednesday of next week. Temperatures, as I said, tomorrow will be still below average. We should be at 80 for a high and 60 for a low. As I said, 74 for a high tomorrow, 49 for a low, 80, 79 on Saturday. Looking at Sunday's temperature, upper 80s. So for those of you that were wondering, hey, are we going to get any more 90-degree? We could. We could on Sunday with mostly sunny skies. Then Monday, middle 80s. Tuesday, middle 80s. Then Wednesday, just a tad cooler, but not much. Low 80s for a high. But as I said, it's mostly sunny skies throughout that forecast period. Matter of fact, below average on the moisture now is forecast to take us all the way through the 30th of August. Slightly above average as far as the temperatures go. Record high in the state, 93, set back in 1922, tied in 1931, and tied in 1955. The record low on the state, 42. That was set in 1954. A year ago, 83 was our high, 58 was our low. We had no precipitation. Sun will set this evening at 8:37. Rise tomorrow morning at 6:44. Incidentally, the wettest ever, August the 17th, 1991. We had just under 1.9 inches of rain on that day. The warmest, August the 17th, was set back in 1988. We didn't break a record high, but we did a record low. 92 was our high on that day. 72 was our low. More on the weather as we go through the broadcast. Standing by, who do we have, Matthew?
Up next, we have Melinda Sweeney from the Andersons and Doug Klein from Oppenheimer.
But before we get to all of that, we want to remind you the weather forecast brought to you by the folks at Nutrien Ag Solutions.
Nutrien Ag Solutions has the local expertise to recommend the corn, soybean, and other seed products that are the best fit for your field. Plus, unparalleled agronomic support with products and services to unlock yield potential and improve crop performance from planting to harvest. Ask about our financing options to help you get more from every acre and lead the field. Visit your local Nutrien Ag Solutions branch or go to nutrienagsolutions.com.
Say, do you want to unlock the secret to higher yields? If you're applying dry fertilizer, the key to better yield potential is Titan XC. Titan XC is a fertilizer biocatalyst that unlocks and releases the bound-up nutrients in granular fertilizer, promoting better root uptake and plant growth. Drive performance this season and beyond. Release more nutrition. Expect better results with Titan XC. For more information, visit lpi.ag/unlock or contact your Nutrien Ag Solutions crop consultant today. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at the Michael Sarr Crop Insurance Agency. What you're experiencing outside is what the Sarr Agency is all about. They want you to be prepared, and hopefully a lot of you have worked with them this year during their risk management push. It's what it's all about, taking advantage of the good things and protecting yourself against the bad. The Michael Sarr Crop Insurance Agency can help. They are licensed to serve all of Michigan with both conventional and organic crop insurance. You can get a hold of their agents directly on their cell phones for questions or emergencies, or you can call the office in Reese, 989-868-4722. Incidentally, just to kind of give you an idea how much rain this system has dropped so far, and this was as of about 9 o'clock this morning. The Sioux had just a little bit better than a half inch. Pellston, 4/10. Traverse City, a half inch. The Gaylord area was looking at a third of an inch. But Beulah, they had 1.1 inches of rain. Engadine, as of about 9 o'clock this morning, just a little bit better than an inch. The Standish area had nothing to report as of 9 o'clock this morning. Traverse City, a number of reporting stations there, as I said, half inch in one, 6/10 in another. And West Branch really didn't have anything to report up till 9 o'clock as well. Let's find out what's going on with the markets. First of all, Melinda Sweeney on the line with the Andersons. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Hey, not too bad. I took a look at the markets before we went on the air, and everything was looking pretty good till I got to the wheat. What's going on with those folks?
Yeah, we're up 3 on corn, up 9 on beans, and down 6 on wheat. Some talks that India is going to import wheat from Russia. There was no indication on the quantity, but is indication that there's talks that could happen. Really is the negative downside for the wheat market currently.
What's driving the soys up?
Soys, weekly export sales were a little weak, but there was some new crop being sold. We had 52 million bushels of new crop sold year to date. And last year, or that just traded. So Brazil lineup still seems to be big. A little questions on Argentina still, how tight their ending stocks are there. We still have a pretty tight ending stocks on beans. So I think beans are kind of holding their own just on that.
Okay. So right now on the board, what do you have?
Yeah, right now we have nearby corn at $4.95, new crop corn at $4.20, January corn at $4.60, nearby beans at $13.20, new crop beans at $12.75, January beans at $13.10, August red wheat at $5.10, July 24 red wheat at $5.93. August white wheat at $5.75 and July 24 white wheat at $6.58.
All right. You have a great day, Melinda.
Thanks, you too.
You bet. Talk to you later. Melinda Sweeney over at the Andersons. Doug Klein from Oppenheimer joining us right now. The market report brought to you by the Frankenmuth Credit Union. They do have lines of credit, equipment loans, financing for purchasing land, credit cards, and more. Find out how they can be your hometown financial solution by stopping by any of their conveniently located offices today. For more information, just punch them up at frankenmuthcu.org. And by the folks at Freeland Bean and Grain. They're ready to answer any questions you might have, Mr. Farmer, as far as you're getting ready to get into that harvest, because before you know it, we are going to be there. Harvest is inevitable, especially this year with some of the big crops. The harvest season, I say it's inevitable. It's going to be a long harvest season this year. And it might be a very good idea to touch base for all your agronomy needs, as well as just taking a look at those fields and seeing if there's any challenges out there that you can handle by getting in contact with Vic Hupfer. He is a certified crop advisor at Freeland Bean and Grain. Serving you since 1983. Serving you is their business. Doug Klein, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Hey, not too bad. What's going on?
Well, you'll love this tidbit. Back in 1945, George Orwell's book came out in 1984. And that was, of course, dystopian society that we're living right now. So basically, in 78 years, if somebody wrote a book that what society would be like if it was normal again, that's how long it's going to basically take for that to sink in. We could be normal again. That would be nice, but
Wow.
It's going to be way too long away.
I was going to say we're counting down how many more years we got here.
Right. Oh, and the other thing I got is 1.8 million Americans are no longer millionaires in the last year. So they have lost their millionaire status. Basically, I would imagine, San Francisco real estate or whatever they had their money invested in took them out. So I'm going to guess maybe they won't vote for Biden next time, but you know that.
I don't know.
You know that love for him.
I don't know. They ain't all elephants out there, I'll tell you that.
So anyway, well, here's your numbers. August corn is 473 and a quarter, up 3 3/4. December corn 486, up 4 1/2. The November soybeans 1338 3/4, up 15 1/4. March soybeans 1352 3/4, up 14 3/4. The September wheat 592, down 5 3/4, and December wheat 617 1/2, down 5 1/2. Crude oil is steady to higher today, 80.78. It's up $1.40. Heating oil is 309.60. That's up 7.5 cents. Gasoline is 285.82. That's down 0.8 of a penny and probably justifies around 350. So good luck finding that. Then natural gas is 322. That's up about 0.5 penny. Over to currencies, Canadian dollar. U.S. dollar buys $1.3523 Canadian. That's down 12 ticks. The dollar buys 146.11 yen. That's down 24 ticks. The euro's at 108.69. That's down about a half a tick. And the dollar's at 103.44. That's up about 1 tick. Gold's at 1894.50, down $5.70. That's getting pretty close to a low. Silver's 22.72. That's up 18 cents. And platinum's at 896.60. That's up $5.60.
All righty. Oh, my favorite ethanol station,
Uh-huh.
a little bit further south.
Uh-huh.
Yesterday, $2.99.
Really? Jesus.
Yeah. Made me feel a little bit better anyway.
Yep.
You take care, Doug. We'll
All
talk
right.
to you again tomorrow. All righty.
All right.
Doug Klein over at Oppenheimer. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Weiss Equipment in Frankenmuth. Those farm all tractors, they're ready. They're sitting on the lot right now waiting for a home. That's a good thing to be thinking about right now because there's a lot of work to be done at your home or somewhere that you have to get some jobs done. The farm all tractor will help you out. Anywhere from 35 to 140 horsepower worth of help. So whatever you need, the folks at Weiss Equipment in Frankenmuth knows that getting the job done right starts with choosing the right farm-all. So they've got anywhere from the Value Pack Compact Farm-All A to the Deluxe Compact Farm-All C and C Series with cabs. The tractor does it all, so no matter what you're doing, Can Do comes in red, and it's called Farm-All. Learn more about that Case IH Farm-All by stopping by Weiss Equipment in Frankenmuth, doing it right longer. Who do we have up next, Matthew?
Up next, we have Joe Kramer from the Michigan Bean Commission.
Joe, good morning. How are you this morning?
Well, I'm a little wet, Terry. I was hoping we could miss this one, but
Yeah, it's I tell you, there's a lot of farmers out there that wish we could have missed this one too.
yeah,
It's beginning to take its toll on some of the crops.
it is. You know, I had a chance to take a little ride around the thumb on Tuesday, and there's some nice looking beans north of M142 that cuts through Pigeon and Bad Axe. Like lots of potential up there, I think. But certainly as you come south, you begin to see more and more of the wet holes and the damage that's occurred there. But we've also been watching our friends out in the Mindeck region. They were getting a little bit on the dry side, but got some rain earlier this week, and I think they're feeling better about what they've got. I think they're fairly optimistic. I was a little surprised that the last Friday's crop report had their yield as low as it did. I think that's a really average number for them, but I was thinking they had a little more potential than that. And then, of course, we really need to watch the drought situation in Mexico, and it sounds like it's too late to continue planting down there. Guys were waiting for moisture, and it hasn't come. Some areas are only about 2/3 planted, and I think that could create some demand opportunities for us to fill. So we gotta watch that materialize here in front of us.
Now, how does all of this play as far as what producers can get for their crop? What's the latest on the markets there that you're able to understand?
Well, I think the best way to describe it is a bit of a holding pattern right now. Growers don't really want to sell because they don't know what they have. Buyers don't want to buy because they think we've got plenty of beans, but Mother Nature's kind of got them sort of paying attention. So they're a little standoffish, but listening. We've got some concern about Mexico and what that's going to have, the impact of that drought. So honestly, I think markets are fairly steady. A few weeks ago, I thought there would be a little pressure on the market, maybe at harvest time, as guys needed space. I still think that could come into play, but I might be alone in my thinking there. In long term, I think I'm optimistic about where values are, and we won't make it to Christmas, and we'll be talking about 24 crop values as well. So I still think there's some opportunities for dry bean growers to make some money growing beans.
Sounds good. I hope you're right. Joe, you
Me
take
too.
care. Have a great day, okay?
Thanks, Terry.
You bet. Joe Kramer over at the Michigan Bean Commission. And again, field days coming up with the Michigan Bean Commission. Might be a really good idea to go to their website and check out the dates and locations. I'm sure there's a lot to be seen this year at those field days. We're going to take a quick break, and then Matthew, who do we have?
Up next, we have Jerry Samolsky from the Bay Landscaping and Garden Center.
We'll touch base with Jerry in a moment.
Now over to Christine, reporting live with the weather.
Well, Ted, yesterday's sunshine is now a torrential downpour. And with so many farmers harvesting, this really is a disaster. Except for Bob here.
Hello.
Bob, you use sharpened herbicide from BASF as a harvest aid.
Yep.
With premium desiccation and control over late season weeds, it's harvest time when you say it is.
Sharpened herbicide works. Always read and follow label directions.
Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Steiner Tractor. New parts for old tractors made easy. 800-234-3280 or go to steinertractor.com. Jerry Samolsky joining us right now with the plant of the week. And one thing is for sure, it's getting plenty of water, Jerry.
Yes, it is, Terry. Yeah, we can probably stop doing those rain dances and we'll put that to an end for a while. But I think I'm hearing next week should be much better. What do you think?
Oh, yeah, a lot better.
Yeah.
What's also interesting, too, real quick, is that some folks have been holding off on watering their pots, the flower pots.
Mm-hmm.
Just because it's raining doesn't mean that those plants are getting adequate moisture.
That's right, Terry. You know, that's the hardest thing. It rains, and so don't water. Sure, don't water in the ground plants, but those container plants are just totally different. All of our container plants out here, even after this rain, there's a good likelihood we're still going to water tomorrow morning. So plants and pots, they're in a whole different environment, and they really want to make sure they get plenty of moisture.
So the
and
plant
the
of the
soils
week.
are meant to.
Yeah, what is
it? The soils are meant to drain well too. But the plant of the week this week we have sweet shrub. It's Calicanthus. It's also called Carolina allspice. 5 to 7 feet in height. And really one of the key feature on this is its fragrance. It blooms heavily in May, then sporadically in June and July. You'll still get some flower. But it smells kind of like citrusy, strawberry, maybe pineapple-y. It has a great fragrance to its blossom, and that's what we love it for. But, it's a dense mounded shape, and flowers are 3 to 4 inches in diameter. It's a fun plant to have in your yard. And so it's tolerant of heavy soils, light soils. Clearly everything likes moist, well-drained soil, but, it'll take a wide range of conditions. It'll do well even in pretty heavy shade, but it also takes full sun. So,
and you've got them at the nursery.
We do. We'll be here selling them if anybody wants them between 9 and 5 weekdays, Saturday 9 to 2.
Jerry, you take care. We'll talk to you again next week. All righty?
Yes, sir.
All right. Jerry Samolsky, Bay Landscaping and Garden Center in Essexville. Over to the Rummel Insurance Agency. Craig Voorhees joining us right now. And Craig, understand, and I talked about it just a little bit before, harvesting just around the corner. Not everybody owns the equipment that they need to harvest.
Well, that's true, Terry. And I was talking with a customer just the other day, and they said they might be doing some custom harvesting this fall for some neighbors, and they wondered if they needed to make any changes to their policy. And the answer to that question, like most answers in the insurance world, is, well, it all depends. If you're doing a small amount, chances are your policy doesn't need any tweaking. If you're doing a medium amount, it probably does need a tweak and adjustment. And if you're doing a large amount, you might even need a completely different policy. So the bottom line is, if you're thinking about doing anything, whether it's just helping out a neighbor or doing hundreds of acres of custom farm harvesting, let your agent know so that we can make sure everything's in place for you before you need it.
Good heads up. Thanks, Craig. We'll talk to you again.
All right. Thanks, Jay.
Oh, you bet. Craig Voorhees with the Rummel Agency. Matthew, let's check in on the New York markets right now. David Anderson on the line with us.
Yes, he is.
Good morning. How you doing, David?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Hey, real good. What are we doing in New York right now?
Well, it's raining, it's pouring, the old markets are snoring. We've got the Dow Jones Industrial Average down 53 points at 34,713, volume of 277 million shares. Have the NASDAQ down 51 points at 13,423, volume of 382 million shares. Locally, stocks are faring better. We've got Deere down 296 at 420.98, Caterpillar up 296 at 277.47, CMS Energy up 36 cents at 56.94, Dow up 91 cents at 54.23, DuPont up 58 cents at 75.32, Corteva up 50 cents at 50.51, Huntington Bank down a nickel at 11.28, Independent Bank down 23 cents at 19.26. GM up 33 cents at 33.15, Ford up 9 cents at 11.90, Mosaic up 17 cents at 39.34, and AT&T down 3 pennies at 14.07.
David, take care. Have a good day.
You as well.
All righty. We'll be right back.
Hey, new car and truck shoppers, are you ready for the summer sell down? Can you believe it? It's already summer sell down time at Cook Chevrolet Ambassador, where we've been building inventory for the best offers of the year. First, check out the very best offer in America. The Chevy Blazer is now starting at only $260 a month. Think about that for a minute. A sharp-looking mid-size SUV, a $38,000 vehicle, and all you pay is $260 a month. Take that, inflation. And for you pickup people, how about a $50,000 four-wheel drive, 4 full-door pickup, well-equipped from just $358 a month? At Cook Chevrolet, the summer is winding down, and the prices are winding down as well. And don't forget the all-new Trax. You can still own it starting around $20,000. The Cook GM Superstore M15, top of the hill Ambassador.
Payments based on GM employee and family lease, 10,000 miles per year, and includes all rebates. Call or visit us online at cookchevysuperstore.com. Chevy, find new roads.
Back at 12:30 with an update, so you stick around for that. Now we conclude our program with the playing of our national anthem.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Steve Kathan. Hawaii's governor is